butterfly भी खेल वाली खिड़की है वंडरलैंड सोचने को कसरत वंडरलैंड टॉय वाली मस्ती fun on fun a magical trip to learn हेलो पढ़ो झूमो खेलो सभी यहाँ तो in the wonderland wonderland नाचो गाओ कूदो पलो सभी यहाँ तो in the wonderland wonderland खेल वाली खिड़की wonderland सोचने को कसरत wonderland टॉय वाली मस्ती fun on fun it's a magical trip fun 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 day wonderland 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 sun भी moon भी टिम टिम तारों वाला sky भी birds भी bees भी dot dot फूल का butterfly भी खेल वाली खिड़की है वंडरलैंड सोचने को कसरत वंडरलैंड टॉय वाली मस्ती fun on fun a magical trip to learn हेलो पढ़ो झूमो खेलो सभी यहाँ तो in the wonderland wonderland नाचो गाओ कूदो पलो सभी यहाँ तो in the wonderland wonderland खेल वाली खिड़की wonderland सोचने को कसरत wonderland टॉय वाली मस्ती fun on fun it's a magical trip fun 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 day wonderland 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 sun भी moon भी टिम टिम तारों वाला sky भी birds भी bees भी dot dot फूल का butterfly भी खेल वाली खिड़की है वंडरलैंड सोचने को कसरत वंडरलैंड टॉय वाली मस्ती fun on fun a magical trip to learn हेलो पढ़ो झूमो खेलो सभी यहाँ तो in the wonderland wonderland नाचो गाओ कूदो पलो सभी यहाँ तो in the wonderland wonderland खेल वाली खिड़की wonderland सोचने को कसरत wonderland टॉय वाली मस्ती fun on fun it's a magical trip fun 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 day
Hello, everyone. Good evening. The music and the jingle itself has set the tone for the webinar. So, welcome everyone, and I thank you on behalf of Wonderland and to attend this webinar, Playful Pedagogy Implementing STEAM in Early Years. Yes, before we start into or delve into this wonderful world of STEAM, let us take a moment to pat our back, okay, because we all know the foundational years are so important and the foundational years teachers are so important in shaping the young minds. So please give a pat on your back for doing the amazing work that you all do in the classrooms, right? So why are we here today? Because I believe, and along with that, research also says that STEAM is a game changer, right? STEAM is all about nurturing the skills, the most important skills, that is creativity, critical thinking, innovation, collaboration, teamwork. It's all about that. And that's why we have more and more schools who are now ready to invest in STEM labs, in STEM curriculum, in STEM manipulatives, right? So let me just share my screen, and then we directly delve into this topic. So in today's webinar, we will be discussing a lot of insights, of course, about STEAM. I will also be sharing strategies. I'll be showing some innovative and manipulatives that you can use it in the classroom. But one thing that I also want to tell you, that once you attend the entire webinar, you will realize it that STEAM is everywhere in early years, right? But we only need to support it with more STEAM manipulatives, more strategies, and maybe a STEAM lab. Okay, so the flow of the event is that we will explore every subject or every aspect of STEAM. I'll share strategies. There's less of gyan and more of strategies that you can implement from in your classrooms from Monday. Okay, and then we will also show you some products. And at the end, I have a small surprise for you where you will be amazed to realize how STEAM can be promoted or fostered or nurtured in your classrooms during your story time. Yes, so that is at the end, and some of the quick tips I have added in the end. And then at last 5 minutes, if I'm able to give you that time, last 5-10 minutes, I'll keep some time to answer all your questions. We will also have Wonderlearn team who will also be answering your questions. Yes, so let's begin. We all have heard about STEM, right? So STEM is nothing but science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right? But what happened was many schools were investing in science, in STEM, but it was more focusing on only these four areas of study. But the critical process of creativity and innovation was somewhere missing. That's why a lot of educators, a lot of business people, and a lot of researchers said that something is missing, right? And that's why came in the A in the STEM, right? And A, we all know, stands for arts. Okay, but arts is generally connected only with the art and craft activities like your finger painting and your vegetable printing. But that's not what art actually means in STEAM. Yeah, we will understand that in detail, right? So let's look at what is STEAM. So stands for science, T for technology, E for engineering, A for arts, M for mathematics. Now you must be wondering, ma'am, how can we teach science and technology and engineering in the classrooms, right? Because I also remember I was talking to someone and they said that one of the teacher went to UKG classroom and wrote STEAM on the board and started explaining science, technology, engineering, arts, mathematics to children. But that's not how STEAM needs to be taught. STEAM has to be experienced by children, right? So, STEAM is a way of thinking that integrates multiple of the STEAM subjects and allows for development of critical thinking and problem solving. Now, all the STEAM subjects, all the five subjects, focus on the same approach because they all require, at some level, they all require critical thinking, they require gathering of information, they require evidence, and most importantly, using it to create new knowledge or to solve problem. So I'm not sure. Maybe some of you are familiar with STEAM, some of you are not familiar with the STEAM. But the way learning happens in early years classroom or in foundational years classroom, you will be amazed to realize that it is embedded in everything that you're doing in your classroom, whether you're doing play, exploration, curiosity, observation, questioning. It's ongoing, right? It is there everywhere in early years, right? So now let's explore each topic. Let's start with science. Oh, how do we teach science in early years? So here in STEAM, science is all about, it's based on wonder. It is more about the drive to explore. And when in your classroom, when you nurture a scientific approach in children, what happens is they learn to investigate, they learn to observe, test, predict, evaluate, and gather evidence. A lot of action verbs. But that is what science looks like, right? So it's more about investigating something in detail. It science looks like predicting what might happen next, exploring the natural world which happens in the classroom. You take them for nature walks also, observing cause and effect. when an infant or a toddler is trying to switch on the fan, when they click on the switch and the fan turns on or starts rotating, they are observing cause and effect, noticing changes in the weather, seasons, and life cycle. That is all happening in early years classroom, right? Moving, swinging, rolling, skipping, hopping. There is science there. Building on the ideas of others, right? Children are experimenting with different approaches to solve a problem. So this is what science looks like in classroom. Now, there is one game that is played in every early years classroom, okay? And it actually promotes the scientific approach. Can anyone guess which game it is? You can put it in the comments. Which is that game that is played in every early years classroom, every preschool, but it also promotes scientific approach? Anyone? Any guesses? You can put it in the chat so I can see your comments. One game that you have played so many times in your classroom. Anyone else can guess the game? Okay, do you want me to tell it out? I Spy game. That is the most commonly played game in preschool classrooms, right? So what do you do in I Spy? You tell them, I spy three objects in red color, or I spy three objects in blue color. So what are the children doing? They are observing, right? Which is the most important part of having a scientific approach or having scientific experiences in your classroom. So, playing I Spy games, right? One thing that we need to start in earlier classroom is maintaining nature journals. Yes, they all are going for nature walks, and then they are also collecting stuff and creating art out of it. But journal is more about documenting what they have observed. I think this is also an important skill that we need to start. And even if they're not able to write in words, they can draw what they have observed, right? Asking questions to investigate what happens when you're mixing these two different color paint together, right? Where you are asking them to investigate. Weather watchers. All of us have weather chart in our classrooms. All of us, right? But instead of just using weather charts, you can also have develop a weather station in your classroom, and you can include tools like thermometer, gauge, windsock, all of this, and allow students to take turns to become to being weather watchers, right? And recording daily weather conditions and discussing the changes that they observe, right? Virtual field trips. I think COVID has taught us that children can visit any possible museum, any zoo, any animal jungle, to experience how it looks like, right? So, in fact, I recently saw a video where there was a 3D video made to see what happened, what is there inside the pyramids in Egypt. And I as adult itself, I was very curious to know what is happening. So imagine how interesting it would be for children, right? So virtual field trips, tinkering tables. Yes, all of you must have heard about tinker labs in big schools. But even if you're not able to set up a tinker lab, you can have a small tinkering tables where you can have a designated specific area in your classroom where you can provide materials like cardboard, tape, recycle items, and basically a space allowing children to create their own simple machines or simple structures, which actually fosters creativity and engineering concepts. So that's how science looks like, and these are some of the activities and strategies that you can implement in your classroom. So like how we've seen for science, for each subject, for technology, engineering, arts and maths, we will look at how it looks like in a classroom, and I'll also share some activities and experiences you can give to your children in your classroom. So let's look at technology. So technology, yes, is about screen and using technology in your classrooms. That is one aspect of it, which is also very, very important to integrate technology in your curriculum. But the other aspect of technology is about doing. It is about putting all the children's thoughts and questions into action. So how does it look like in a classroom? Giving them these tools, scissors and rulers. Why do you need rulers? To measure different items, record their findings and discuss. You can give them sandpit, shovels and buckets, toys with wheels, where they can sort first toys with wheels, toys without wheels, and also asking them questions like, okay, where else can we find wheels and what job the wheel does. Giving them camera or iPads. I'll tell you why it has to be given. Ramps, pulleys, screwdrivers, cardboard boxes, right? You can give them magnifying glass to observe things closely, the natural objects. Magnifying glass is a mandate in classrooms, in earlier classroom. You can have light bulbs, you can have digital clocks to basically use a digital clock to time how fast something happens, right? Cardboard boxes, tweezers and pom-poms, all these are nothing but tools, and that tools need to be there in your classroom. What are some of the activities and experiences that you can give them? First is simple tool exploration. Start by introducing your children to various tools like magnifying glasses, how to use it, measuring cups, how to use it, scissors, or even a hand crack egg beater, right? It could be anything, but just introducing them, allowing them to touch and feel, demonstrating how to use it, and also under supervision, you can ask them to use it also. So that is simple tool exploration. Especially if you're doing community helpers and where you are introducing them to tools, there are some tools that children can use it. So next time also list down certain tools from what you are introducing in community helpers. Make the list and see what children can use it. Okay. Exploring simple machines in the classroom, like levers, pulleys, wheels, all of these. So again, you can have a small play area where children can have seesaw, they can have wagon, they can have toy conveyor, and these simple machines for them to observe and understand how these machines work. Okay. Nature and tech integration. One is of course using microscope, digital microscopes or magnifying apps that come to observe the natural objects closely. You can also use cameras and iPads for them to click pictures and then of what they have observed, and then discuss in the classroom of what they on what they have observed. So that's how nature and tech integration can also happen. You can set up small ramps or roll balls. Just one second. Sorry, or roll balls or toys with wheels, and then ask children, which one do you think will roll fast? Especially if you are doing fast and slow concept, you can use this. When you're teaching them opposites, fast and slow, you can use this. Tech supported manipulatives. So now like Wonderland has it, you can have manipulatives for children to feel it, and it is also supported with the digital content. So I would request, I'll stop sharing my screen and we want to show you how this digital content looks like. I would request Grace from Wonderland team to just show how the toy and then how it is supported digitally.
Thanks, Greshma. All right, so we do have a few manipulatives, and I'm just going to show you one sample as of now. Uh, these are transports. We call them magnetic transport on the base on the theme of transport. So as you can see, we have these magnetic shapes, right? And so what we usually do is we would take the shapes out from the board and then ask the children to match the shapes. And in this way, they're able to identify the colors and match the shapes and then form the transport. For example, this is a helicopter. So along with these, we also have it's supported by our digital, right? So I would like to share the digital part as well. Just give me a second.
Yes, please. No problem.
Are you able to see this?
Grace, it is still loading. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
able to see the screen now.
All right.
Hello, little wanderers. I'm excited to see you today. Are you ready to learn something new? I can take you to different places. I can move fast.
I'll just stop here. This is for train transport. As you can see, we have a few transport manipulatives, right? But I'm just showing one transport course or content for everybody to see. So this is train. I'll just run for a bit and then we can move on to the next slide.
Grace, you can do full screen of it so that everyone can see it properly.
Is this
Thank
clear?
you. Yeah, this is better. Yeah.
Oh,
Transport means moving people or things from one place to another place. There are many modes of transport, such as roadways, railways, waterways, airways, etc. Trains are vehicles that use rails or tracks. A train is a long vehicle with many carriages. A long time ago, people used horses to pull carriages on the rails. It was called wagon way. Later, engine trails were invented. The passenger trains take passengers from one place to another. The freight trains carry goods such as coal, milk, vegetables, fruits, fuel, rocks, etc. Let's build a steam engine freight train. Rails or train tracks. Wheels, boiler, chimney, cabin, buffer, whistle, coupling, milk
No,
carriage,
coupling.
vegetable carriage, fruit
Interesting.
carriage, fuel carriage.
all right, so we can stop here for now. So as you can see in the video, we're seeing a lot of interesting facts and how to even build a train and the freight train as well. So this is very informative for children. We've seen them really engaging with this kind of content. Well, teachers do pause in the middle and explain to them a little, and then they really enjoy that. So after this, it's
Yeah.
followed by a quiz session. So we do have content regarding the quizzes as well. So yeah, that's
Okay.
how we run. Right.
Awesome. Awesome. By the way, I didn't know it is called coupling. For me, it was a
Coupling.
new word today.
Was for
Lovely.
me
Thank
too.
you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. So,
Pleasure.
like you saw, basically they see the video and then make that train using the manipulative. Okay, so it is more of handshake between physical manipulatives and digital, right? And it's very, very reinforcing for children. So I'll start sharing my screen. So that's what I meant by, just one second. Yep, we are here. Okay, so that's what I meant by tech supported manipulatives. Okay, now let's look at the next subject, engineering. I know it's a scary word for many of us, right? But engineering in classroom looks like building projects, building models, trying out new ideas, understanding how it works. Okay, how does this machine work? That investigating. It also involves fixing and repurposing of broken toys. And there are now some interesting activities that I will share. But when I'm sharing each, explaining each one of them, I want you to connect with one concept uh, of that, like, if I'm, for example, saying engineering with loose parts, which concept or which time of the day in the preschool you can use it. That is what I want you to put it in the chat box. I'll give you the first example, and from second onwards you can put it in the chat box. So the first one is engineering with loose parts. Okay, which means providing a collection of loose parts like nuts, like bolts, washers, buttons, and encouraging children to use loose parts to construct unique structures. And this will go very well when you are doing free play. Now, we also have some misconceptions about free play. Free play is not just allowing them to play however they want, but it's all about also planning some things every day, some different things for them to explore every day. So this is something that is easily available, and it is easy for children to explore, and easy for you to also add it in the free play, right? So this is one thing. Second, simple engineering challenges. Okay, I did this one when I went for a study tour in one of the schools. We did They gave us toothpick and they gave us play-doh, and they asked us to make structures, right? They asked me to make us the tallest tower or something like this. So which concept do you think we can use this? Simple engineering challenges like toothpick and play-doh and creating tall structures. What are the concepts that you think we can use it for? Anyone? It's like toothpicks and play-doh, and then they have to build the tallest tower or tallest structure. So what are the concepts that you can teach? Even one. I think I'm getting messages a little late. That's what happened when I asked the previous question also. Hmm. Shapes, okay. Stability, 3D shapes. Okay, lovely. Interesting answers coming up. Vehicle design, yes. Even concepts like strong, tall, short, balancing, all of this can be taught with simple toothpick and Play Doh, right? Next is lifting objects with pulley and ropes. So you can set up a small, simple pulley system using ropes and small buckets and let children experiment with lifting objects and discover how pulley makes work easier, right? Now, can you tell me what are the concepts that you can teach using pulley and buckets? Yes. Yeah, someone said using toothpick and Clay-Doh make animals. Yeah. Gitu Batra says fruits and vegetables. Yeah. Heavy and light object. Fantastic. Thank you, Mekla. Push and pull. Wonderful, Atriya. This is what we were looking at. So instead of just showing them heavy and light concept, like showing them, giving them the object. Why not add steam in it, where they are doing push, they are doing pull, they are lifting heavy, light, more water, less water, all of that. Okay. Nature engineering, so basically taking them for a nature walk, and collecting items like stick, leaves, rocks, back, bring it back to the classroom and build structures. One thing is building art activity, but building structures using what they have got from nature, right? So that can be taught, and again, all your opposites and parts of the plant, all of that can be taught through nature engineering. Construct a marble run. So basically, you need to provide materials like cardboard, tubes, paper plates, tape, and let children design and construct their own marble run. Okay. So what are the topic that you can teach through construct a marble run? I'm seeing some wonderful answers, so thank you so much. Neha says we've done magnet run. Okay, awesome. Any concept movements? Arifa says movements. Okay, slow, fast, brilliant, Ambika. Anything else that you can think of? Slow, fast, and movements are the answers that I was looking at. But somewhere for grade 1 and 2, even gravity and motion can be taught through these concepts. Okay, through this construct a marble run activity. Next, vehicle design. Neha says direction, left, right, also sink, float, also brilliant. Next is vehicle design. Now, introducing the concept of wheels and axles. So, providing children with cardboards and bottle caps, straws for children to design and build their own vehicles. And we know transport is such an important concept in early years, but instead of just drawing and using paper to make the vehicle, the car, why not give them these materials to create their own vehicle? Yes, you don't need to change your curriculum, you don't have to change your lesson plan, you just need to just tweak your activities to implement STEAM in your classrooms. Okay. Ice cube igloos. So basically freezing your water in small containers to create ice cubes, and then allowing children to build igloos using the ice cube. And what are the concepts that you can explore through ice cube igloos? Anyone? Ice cube igloos. Okay, I think I'm again getting the answers a little late, but when you're exploring seasons, right? Winter season, avoid using cotton to show igloos, to create igloos, but rather let them make igloos with ice cube. You can also introduce solid and liquid concept for higher grades, like for grade 1 and 2, but you can also teach balance, stability, all of this. Yes. Next is shape construction challenge. Yeah. So I would request Grace to demonstrate this activity. What is shape construction challenge? So here I stop sharing the screen, and yeah, can we have Grace demonstrating? Yes.
So again, when it comes to shapes, I'm just going to show you one of the manipulatives, right? As you can see here, we have the color wheel. So this will, you can teach children about primary colors, secondary colors, tertiary colors. But then in what other way can we use this toy for as well? So definitely we have a lot of other manipulatives to construct shapes, but let's try this out. So I can think of 2, 3 shapes as of now, And then once you actually give children to explore them, they are more, they're more creative than us. So,
Of course, yeah.
right. So I'm just going to take this out. As you can see, it was just a puzzle, a circle, right? So I can think of using these triangles, I can think of making a semicircle. This is constructing
Hmm.
a shape using various, other shapes.
Oh,
So
lovely.
I can think of making a semicircle, right? Then let me try making
Great.
a triangle. So
Hmm. That's a
that's
challenge.
so yes, this will be a challenge because they'll have to really do a lot of thinking, logical thinking, spatial reasoning. All of that comes in hand as well. So let me try making a triangle.
Hmm.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
actually made it brilliant. Awesome. This
Right.
I
So
didn't
let me.
think of. Semicircle was easy. Our mind is wired in that way. But
Right.
see
Yes.
how much this challenge can really develop the critical thinking skills in children.
Yes, we've seen children making a lot more, shapes just using these shapes from the color wheel. So I can also
Okay.
think of one more I can show.
Please. Oh,
Will you be able to
yeah.
identify this
Diamond.
shape?
Oh,
Michelle?
brilliant.
Diamond. So this is all I can think of as of now. So once we
Awesome.
give the
Awesome.
children to explore, I'm sure they'll be able to think of other shapes. My
For sure.
creativity
For
is
sure.
limited, but the children always enhance my creativity. So
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. So that was the shape challenge that you can give children. Thank you, Grace, for showing it and also enhancing our critical thinking skills. So let's look at the A aspect of it, which is art. Yes, like I mentioned at the beginning, art, we generally connect it only with art and craft. But what we need to change is we need to understand that process is more important than the product when it comes to art. Okay, it has to be open ended, right? So when I say process versus product, even when I was a teacher, we would ask children to do handprint, okay, and then add features on it and make it into a peacock and then hang it in the classroom with their name. So what happens there is we are focusing on the product and we forgot what are children learning from it because we were not focusing on the process, right? So ensure that next time you are thinking of any art activity, focus on the process, focus on why are we doing this, what is the objective, what, how will it enhance a child's life. Okay, these are the questions that you need to think of when you are planning an art activity. It has to be open ended, it has to be child led. Okay, we give them earbuds and ask them to paint everywhere, but instead can we allow children to choose the media? Maybe they want a earbud, maybe they want to do with a brush, maybe they want to do with the crayon, but it has to be, children have to choose what, how they want to paint. Yeah, because what, when we are giving them all the material and asking them to do, there is zero creativity in this, because the child is actually not thinking anything. We are spoon feeding the information, and that is where we are going wrong in art. Encouraging children to explore the different medias, different kind of paints, different colors, crayons, pencil shades, different medias, displaying creations as it is and not modifying it. I think that was the biggest mistake that I was doing it, because I remember when the parent came in, for a PTM. I was a teacher, and the child's art was hanging, and the parent asked the child, "Oh, you did this! This is so good!" And the child, being, I mean, how children are generally so honest, the child said, "No, I didn't do it." And that's when it hit me that what are we doing? We are just manipulating what the child has created. Okay, and application to real world. Okay, all of us have done jewelry making in our classrooms, right? And what happens in the jewelry making? They just wear the jewelry and go home. That's all. Where is the application to real world? So again, when I went for a study tour in one of the school, the kindergarten children made the jewelry, yeah, and there were a lot of prototypes and lot of changes and ideation done by the school teachers and the school owner. And then they set up a stall for the children to actually sell that jewelry in a proper exhibition, like how we have exhibitions. Children had put up the stall. So that is where our art needs to be connected to the real world. Now, what are some of the art related activities that you can think of? Can you all put it in the chat box? What are some of the art related activities? Okay, I think we are running short of time. So, something that all of you are doing it in your classrooms, but we have to now give freedom to children and not ask them what has to be created, but giving them that freedom to choose the media. I'm not going through all the activities, but trust me, collage making is one of the doodling. Yes, thank you, Mekla. Mekla says doodling, which I missed on. Doodling is amazing. But collage making is something where you just give them items and they create their own stuff, right? Story maps, all these activities you are already doing it, but now we need children to create it and children to do it on their own, right? So here are some of them. Let's go to the last subject in STEAM, which is math. Okay, and math is normally associated only with numbers, but math is not just about numbers and counting, but it is about patterns, shapes, measurement, sharing, number comparison, ordering, right? Sorting patterns, matching patterns, repeating patterns. That's how math should look like in the classroom. Let's look at some of the activities and experiences that you can give children. Measuring while cooking in the kitchen. So, again, when we do a fireless cooking in the classroom, we keep all the measurements ready for them, because, again, we are focusing only on the product. But instead, we should allow children to measure, right? Tracing an outline of their shadow, that is also one of the experience that you can give them. Cutting up a cake, fruit, sandwiches, allowing them to do it. Telling the time that it is a lunch time, going home time, library day. So that language you also need to use it in your classroom, and you should also need to we also need to teach children how to tell the time. Okay, counting the steps. Okay, from our classroom to library, how many steps are there? We can ask them to count it. Comparing shapes and sizes of objects, and then talking about their positions, like top, between, under, all of this, right? These are some of the experiences. Then also doing puzzles and asking positional questions like, okay, do you think this piece will go in the corner or it will go near the top? you know Asking them to think. Describing the objects that are near and far, giving them that words and language. Placing smaller objects inside larger ones, and stacking same size objects. These are some activities. Using ruler to measure distance or objects. Before you start rulers, you can also do foot span and hand span. So if there is a cupboard, let them measure it. I don't think you will be able to see, but if there is anything, let them measure through their hand and through their feet. Yeah, feet. So these are some of the activities and experiences related to math. Now let's look at, there are some all in one STEAM activities also. So right now what I did was I kind of gave you strategies for each subject, but there are some manipulative, some sets that can actually promote all in one STEAM activities. So again, I would request Grace to show me that toy, the set, peg and hammer set. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Alright. Is this clear?
Yeah.
All right. So we have the board here, right? Where the children
Yeah.
can hammer the pegs over here. We call these pegs. So they're of different colors. So the children will be able to identify colors: green, red, yellow, white. So we'll first of all, we usually ask them to sort the colors together. So let's hammer green together, right? So they do that. This enhances motor skills, fine motor skills. So all the greens together. Oops, sorry. I'm pretending to be a child. So
Yeah, yeah.
blue also can happen. So right. So this is basically for pre-nursery, nursery class, and for class
Hmm.
KG, you could ask them to do standing line, slanting line. You
Yeah.
can teach those as well. So this is just one of the example. And then along with this
Hmm.
hammer and we have these sheets where they'll have to match the colors to the card. As you can see, we have a boat house here, so the children will have to identify what are the colors in the board, right? What is this picture? So they can do a little bit of picture reading as well. And then just put it on the board and they'll have to match the text to the card. So, for example, we do see children getting a little, confused with the colors, but it's really fun for them. So, as you can see here, this is all blue. So, children can pick it and hammer it. They can work in
Yeah.
groups as
So,
well,
yeah.
right?
So
So,
when
they can,
Grace is actually hammering, the pegs on the board, we are doing nothing but we are somehow introducing them the science concepts of force, motion, and energy transfer. And then we are when it comes to technology, we are actually introducing the mechanics of how the hammer works and how it transfers the force to the pegs. Again, basic technological principles are involved. And engineering, so again, children can experiment the way they are hitting the pegs, and do it in a different way. Sometimes do it with right hand or left hand, right? And do it from the
absolutely.
back side of the hammer. They are experimenting, right? And that's when engineering also comes here. Creativity, right? Like maybe the child wants to do same color, like red triangle, so they want to do red pegs only. Some children want to do blue pegs there. So again, art came into the picture. And again, when they are doing the pegs, they can count the pegs. Okay, how many, if I have to fill the blue patch, how many pegs will I need? Again, math came into the picture. So this is what I mean by all in one STEAM activity. So even if you are unable to do the strategies that I've told you, even if we have just one manipulative like this, you are actually fostering STEAM in your classroom. So thank you so much, Grace, for this demonstration. And they look really cute. The pictures look really cute.
Yes, it's the children's favorite. We've experienced
Yeah.
that and we've gotten that feedback. Like, the children love it.
Lovely. So now it's time to steam up. I want to shake on the crowd also. So now Grace will show you another toy, and you have to tell us which STEAM concepts, like how science is involved here, how technology can be fostered here, how engineering comes into the picture here. Grace, are you ready with the next toy? Yes, thank you so much. So you have to see the demonstration, and then you have to tell us how science, technology, engineering, arts, and math can be fostered in this through this manipulative.
All right, so I'm just going to show you the manipulative, right? We have shapes
Yes.
again here, and I'm just going to inform the teachers that these are magnets. As you can see, they stick on the board. So I'll just show you one example. We can teach them again about shapes as we have different shapes here, and they'll have to sort them. So that's just one concept that I can think of right now. And I think we can ask the teachers what other concepts that that we can teach the
Yeah.
children. So teachers, what other concepts or topics can we teach using the magnetic shapes? As you can see, they're
Yes.
magnetic. They have
Yeah.
different shapes and colors. Patterns,
Oh, we've
attraction and
already
repulsion.
getting the answers.
Second to third, attraction, yes. Let me demonstrate
Sequencing.
attraction, yes, sequencing. So definitely attraction, like poles and unlike poles. So unlike poles attract, unlike
Yeah.
like poles repel. Sorry, so the children, they love this activity. They can
Oh
see
yeah,
the
yeah.
it's actually repelling. So we used to say, okay, they do not want to be friends. They
Oh yeah.
enjoy
So
this.
your SEL, social emotional learning, also comes into the picture.
Comes into the picture, right? So if they want to become friends, they stick together. Sorry, can you see this?
Yeah.
And if they don't want to become friends, they repel.
Oh,
You can actually see it here.
brilliant.
Repel. The friend is running away. Can you see? The friend is running away. It doesn't want to be friends.
Oh, nice, nice. Lovely, Grace. Thank you so much. We've got some amazing answers. It says, like Ambika says, technology, what material does the magnet attract? Yes, Anju says
Right.
problem solving. So, yes, I think you've got an idea about how these manipulatives can be used to foster STEAM. So, I would want to just scroll through all the questions and comments that are there so that I can note it down. And I think till then, we can watch a video and I'll just go through the comments. So, can we have brilliant. Thank you so much. So I've gone through the questions. Let me share the screen now for the most surprise element on what are the other ways to foster STEAM in earlier classroom. And the one thing that we can do during story time, how can we, I mean, story time is the most important time in the earlier classroom that children look forward to. And if we can implement STEAM using story time, I think that would be fantastic, right? That would be because story as a subject or as a period itself, children look forward to. So first thing is, of course, you can have STEAM related books. So we will be sharing an email with you after the webinar where the list of books will be shared with you, which you can, have it in your library. And then next is tweak the fairy tale. Okay. Now, for example, when you are talking about Little Red Riding Hood, okay, can we, instead of giving out the story, before we give out the story or even after the story, can we ask children if they can, design a safer way for the Little Red Riding Hood to reach her grandma's place, right? You would be surprised that children would come up with ideas like zip line or to carry her over the forest, or then they would come up with lot of ideas, but also giving them materials to create what they're thinking, right? So tweaking the fairy tales a little bit, even when you're doing Three Little Pig, um, can we ask question to the children that what if, children, what if the third pig did not have bricks, right? What are the other materials that pig could use, right? And what we can do is, through hair dryer they can test what they have made, right? So these are some of the ways that we can incorporate STEAM in story time. Again, when you are reading interactive with children, you can also ask, what do you think will happen next? Now, when you ask this question to children, what they're doing is they are actually predicting, right? And predicting is one of the most important element of scientific approach, where the scientists predict what is going to happen, right? So this is one of the way. And of course, talking STEAM language, using words like observe, conclude, predict, using a lot of size words, numbers, wondering questions, all of that, using STEAM language in the classroom. Next, we have some quick strategies that you can do it. First is exploring outdoors. Outdoor is a great place to foster STEAM learning. So when you go for walk, make stops, let them observe, let them ask you questions, right? All of this is important. Using STEAM language, I've already given you the example. Water play. When you're doing water play, you can use different containers, funnels, tubes, all of that to pour water, and let children play with water. Playing games that allow for executive function to develop, like sorting, sequencing, Simon says, patterns, all of that. When you are playing these games, you are doing nothing but developing executive function and supporting your concept with STEAM manipulatives, right? So again, I would request Grace to show you what do I mean by this. All the questions will be answered at the end. So Ambika, I will answer your query at the end.
You can go ahead and explain. I'll just show them the sea animal kits that we
Right.
have. These are so colorful, as you can see. So we teach them about sea animals, the different types of sea animals that we have in the sea. Not all of them are here, but some of them: seahorse, crab, fish, right? Starfish. So as you can see here, we have numbers as well. Colors, numbers 1, 4. So this will
Yeah.
help them in number identification, right? 6,
Right.
7,
Again, interdisciplinary approach comes into the picture here.
right. So we usually ask them to fish it out.
Hmm.
So it's a little difficult for the children. We have the fishing rods here. Can you see?
Hmm.
It'll be a little challenging for them because this will enhance their fine motor skills. I'm not so sure if you're
Right.
able to see it. Yes, it does take a
And
while for
again,
them to fish it out. Yes,
yeah.
craft it out. Or teachers can
And
ask
again,
them, sting.
yeah,
Yes, go ahead.
steam also comes into the picture because there is magnet and they are pulling it, and all of that. So
Yes,
again, math came into the picture. Arts, since colors are there, art came into the picture.
true. And they can also do addition. For example, okay, fish out octopus, which is 6, right? And then fish out purple fish. Sorry, see, sometimes it can be challenging for me too. All right, so now you can ask them to to add 6 plus 2. So this is mental math, maybe not for nursery or KG, right? But they can grade ones can also try this.
Kindergarten and grade 1 and grade 2, yes, of course. Brilliant.
So anything you want to add, Rishma?
Yeah, I know. As I said, interdisciplinary approach came into the picture. Plus, a lot of the entire STEAM, science, technology, engineering came into the picture because there are different concepts that we are also introducing these through these concepts, through these toys. So that's what I meant when I said. Just one second. Thank you so much, Grace. So when I say support your concept with STEAM manipulatives, this is what I meant. So you don't have to have a separate STEAM class, but it can be part of your curriculum. Now, since we've almost come to the end of our webinar, uh, you have heard me talking and sharing strategies of the classroom. So before I give you the benefits of STEAM, which I want all of you to share. What do you think are the benefits of implementing STEAM in early years? If you can put it on the chat, it would be nice. Yes, what do you think are the benefits of implementing STEAM? Anyone? Or rather, I'll move to the slide so we can have some time for questions. So, critical thinking, confidence, creativity, collaboration, teamwork, curiosity, and innovation. Neha says develops lateral thinking in children. Beautiful. Yes. So, these are the benefits of STEAM education, and this is how you can implement. What I also I actually wanted to know, but we've come to the end of the webinar and it's almost 6:30. But if you are still online and if you're still there, what was the aha moment for you in this webinar? If you can put it on the chat box, that would be brilliant. These are my contact details. You can take a screenshot of this and connect with me if you have any more questions. Sahana says hands-on learning experience is brilliant, and development of thinking and creative skills brilliant. Yes, connect classroom teaching to real life. Yes, that is what we are looking out now. Unique way to solve the problem, of course. Right. Okay, so I will stop. Art is not the craft was my aha moment. I'm so glad, Neha, that you have that takeaway for you from this webinar, because this is one message that I'm trying to spread throughout different webinars that I conduct. So I'll stop sharing my screen, and I think we have a couple of questions, and the Wonderland team is also there. So to help you with the questions, I think we had one question from Ambika which says, "Can we know how was the assessment done for children?" So like Kavita has answered, it's a combination of qualitative and quantitative assessment, and each concept is tested through quizzes and interactive questions which are voice led. For example, the train content that was shared by Grace, there was also a quiz behind it, right? Yes, any more questions?
Yes, Grishma. So we have quizzes for all the content.
Hmm.
So we have quizzes for all the contents, definitely, so we can assess the children based on the performance on the quizzes or even based on the performance on the physical aids, right? On how they perform in the classroom. So we do have.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant. Mekha says all the activities which we showcase. Thank you. I'm so glad that you have a lot of aha moments then. Um, Minakshi says that the idea of building igloos through ice cube was new to me. Oh, nice. I'm glad you have an interesting takeaway. Okay. So, after we finish the webinar, we will, in a day or two, we will send you an email with all the resources that I promised and what are the takeaways, the main takeaways we had. And there's a surprise for all of you in that email by Wonderlearn. So please look out for email from Wonderlearn and ensure that you go through that email because a lot of resources I'll be sharing. There was a surprise from Wonderlearn also, so which you can use it. Yes, any more questions? Make love because you were answering those questions, so thank you. Yeah. Even if you missed the first part of the webinar and if you join late, this webinar is broadcasted live on Wonderlearn website, Wonderlearn YouTube channel, Wonderlearn LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, all of their channels. So it will be there for you to refer anytime you want. Also, Wonderlearn, when you go to the website to watch the recording, sorry, on when you go to YouTube also, they have a lot of other ideas for STEAM. So you please check out their STEAM, their YouTube channel as well. Any more questions? We are still here. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for spending your precious Friday evening. Yes.
Wonderland, Wonderland, Wonderland. Sun bhi, moon bhi, tim tim taro wala sky bhi. Birds bhi, bees bhi, dot dot polka butterfly bhi. खेल वाली खिड़की है वंडरलैंड, सोचने को कसरत वंडरलैंड, टॉय वाली मस्ती फन ऑन फन, मैजिकल ट्रिप टू लर्न. खेलो पढ़ो झूमो खेलो सभी यहाँ तो विद वंडरलैंड, वंडरलैंड. नाचो गाओ कूदो पढ़ो सभी यहाँ तो विद वंडरलैंड, वंडरलैंड. खेल वाली खिड़की वंडरलैंड, सोचने को कसरत वंडरलैंड, टॉय वाली मस्ती फन ऑन फन, some magical trip in fun 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 way. Wonderland, Wonderland, Wonderland. Sun
Awesome.
bhi, moon.
Yeah. So thank you so much for attending this webinar. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. That tells me that how dedicated educator you are. And once again, I want to clap for all you amazing educators for doing amazing work in your classrooms. Thank you, Wonderlearn, for promoting STEAM in the classrooms, for setting up STEAM labs in the schools. You're doing an amazing work, and I wish you everyone all the very best. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye.